Hello, grade 10. I'm here again to help you with your activity sheets for quarter 1, week 3. For this week, we will talk about plate boundaries, geologic process and events, and impacts or effects. Are you ready? As usual, we have to discuss first the points to remember for you to connect and able to understand the activities given for this week. It says here, convergent boundaries. I have taught you this already. When we say convergent boundaries, these are plates that are moving toward each other. They are colliding. Look at the picture. So we have here the first possible collision. It happens between continental and oceanic plate. Notice the picture. We have here the oceanic crust and the continental crust. What are the consequences of this kind of convergence? First, we have the subduction process. This is not new to you already anymore. What is this process? This is the bending of the crust towards the mantle. In simple manner, this is just the moving process or the motion of the oceanic crust towards the mantle, and when it reaches it, it will melt and will form magma. The subducted crust melt, forming magma, allowing it to rise and reach the crust once again and causing volcanic activities on the continental leading plate. For the oceanic crust, trends is formed. You can see it in the picture. This trends is also called as submarine valleys. These are the deepest part of the ocean. Back to the picture. For the oceanic crust, trends is formed. And for the continental crust, there is volcanic arc or simply volcano that is being created because of the magma that is formed under due to subduction process. Again, what is this first possible kind of collision? We have the convergence between continental and oceanic plate. I hope you understood, and let's move on to the next collision. We have here the collision between two oceanic plates. I have here my pictures. On top is showing collision between two oceanic plates. You can see the blue part. This is the ocean. What happens here? One plate will sink into the mantle, creating a deep sea trench at the point of subduction. These trenches will become sources of earthquakes. If you will look closer to the picture, there is trench being formed where at the point of subduction, and on the other oceanic plate there is volcanic island arc that is being created. What is this kind of land formation? These are volcanoes or chain of volcanoes positioned in an arc shaped. In the second picture, we have the collision between two continental plates. So there is no water as being shown in the picture. What are the consequences? Mountain ranges and high plateaus. Look at the picture again. So since they are both continental, subduction will not occur because that process will occur only when oceanic plate is involved in the collision. For this kind of collision, continental versus continental plate, they both move up. Thus, they form mountain ranges or high plateaus. Let's proceed. The second is divergent boundaries. It happens inland and under the sea. Inland, this divergence is between two continental plates. Let me read the points to remember. A gap is formed as water from the sea rushes in to fill the gap. Look at the picture. As the land or plate boundaries are moving away from each other, water from the sea is coming up. And as time goes on, says here, this gap is already deep underwater in a brand new ocean. And this is now called Rift Valley. So in Filipino, kapag nagtuloy-tuloy daw yung paglabas ng tubig dyan sa space na yan, this continental plate will be underwater already. Magiging nasa ilalim na siya ng brand new ocean. Siyempre, patuloy kasi yung paglabas ng tubig dyan sa space na yan. And, parang bangin na ang itsura niya, na ang tawag na ay Rift Valley. Okay, tandaan nyo na, andun mamaya sa picture ito, dun sa activities ninyo. And then, the second picture is a divergence between two oceanic plates. Of course, that is happening under the ocean. Let us read. It will create a brand new crust. Brand new crust naman daw ang magkakaroon dito as the magma rushes up to fill the gap and creates underwater volcanoes. Ayan, basta may oceanic talaga. Oceanic crust, merong volcan na mabubuo because of subduction. This crust can remain deep under the oceans, creating underwater ridges. Or it can rise to the surface over time to form islands. Most divergent boundaries in the world today are between two oceanic plates. So please excuse the sound at the background. We have here too many anong tawag ito? Roosters. May mga, kami kasi, manok panabong, kaya tilaok sila ng tilaok. But never mind, just listen to me. So let's try to translate this. Divergent boundaries or the divergence between two oceanic plates. So sa divergent boundary daw inland, ang mabubuo ay brand new ocean kasi nga lumalabas yung tubig dyan sa space. And then, yung gap na yan, in time, magiging sa ilalim na siya ng tubig. Ang tawag ay Rift Valley daw. Dito naman sa number 2, sa under the sea, ang lalabas naman ay magma. And that magma will cool down later on and will become the new crust. Brand new crust. So, parang luluwang yung dagat. Pwede daw na mag-stay lang dyan sa under the ocean or pwede rin silang pumaibabaw or can rise to the surface over time to form islands. Oh, ganun pala nabubuo yung mga islands. Pumapaibabaw sila. And this, most divergent boundaries in the world are happening between two oceanic plates daw. So, most divergent boundaries are found under water. So, lumuluwang din yung karagatan kapag may nangyaring divergence. Sana nagets nyo, Let's move on. The third boundary is called transform boundary. This is also known as conservative boundaries. The buildup of pressure between the two plates along a transform fault produces earthquakes. As you can see in the picture, there is no land formation being created. Sa transform boundary, walang nabubuong anyong lupa. pero nagkakaroon din ng lindol. Siyempre, gumalaw eh. Basta gumalaw at strong enough, you can feel the so-called earthquake. And in your point to remember, there is an added trivia or added note. It says here in geology, a fault is a crack or breakage or fracture. O, pare-pareho lang yan ha. Fault, crack, breakage, fracture, or discontinuity. Nabubulol pa ako, no? Or discontinuity or significant displacement in Earth's crust. Ang daming binigay dyan na synonyms and explanation. So, basta nagets nyo, yung fault, crack daw siya. Breakage, fracture, discontinuity or displacement in the Earth's crust where movement can start or where movement can happen. That is fault. Okay, let's go on. We are now in your activity 1. This is your matching. Very easy, oh, may pagpilian. You just have to match the following pictures with its corresponding term. Choose from the box. So I'm trying to help you here, showing you colored pictures because again, you have your black and white. Mas masaya talaga pag colored. So in number 1, the first picture is showing you huge waves. What is the name for this? For number 2, there is a collapsed buildings. O, paano ba nakukollapse ang mga buildings? Pag pinaputukan mo ba? Or pag may nangyaring tsunami ba? Or nagkalindol? Clue, mga kaibigan. That is pictures number 1 and 2. Or those are pictures number 1 and 2. Okay, let's move. And then, pictures number 3 and number 4. In number 3, it is in continental crust, having a crack, having a gap, a breakage. In number 4, that this is under the ocean, in a very deep part of the ocean because you can see the rising part of land side by side and there is a diver enjoying in the middle. So how would you name this? Number 3 and number 4. Proceed. Pictures number 5 and 6. In number 5, you can see that there is a ground moving down. And number 6, there is a disalignment of the road. Pili-pili from the box. Okay. Pictures number 7 and number 8. In number 7, this is under the ocean. There is a divergence happening under the ocean. And what is formed? Okay, so this is the counterpart of the divergence in the land which formed Rift Valley. How about in this divergence under the sea? What is formed? Pili-pili. And in number 8, very easy. This is just a group of mountains that are formed due to convergence between two continental plates. Okay, so that is, or those are number 7 and number 8. Pictures number 9 and 10. In number 9, there is a land formation releasing a fiery material. Magma pag nasa loob, lava pag nakalabas na. So what is this occurrence? Is that a tsunami, an earthquake, a rift valley? Alam mo na yan. Sa number 10 naman, how many choices do you have? 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sakto lang pala. So, dapat huwag kang magkamali sa pag-match. So you have your picture number 10, like an arc. There is an island, there is volcano, and then position like an arc. May clue mga kaibigan. So tapos na tayo sa number or activity number 1. Moving on to activity number 2. Ay, my friendly reminder. Mag-subscribe na kayo para lagi kayong ma-notify. Siyempre, yung notification din. Like and then share para mas marami pa tayong matulungan. Malaman nila na may mga ganitong tutorial para sa mga nahihirapan din or na-stress. Okay? Thank you very much. Ganda ko dyan, no? Okay. Activity number 3. Walang activity number 2. Oo, chinek ko na yan. So, activity number 3 na. This is entitled Bingo Card. Wala talaga guys. Wala sa soft copy ko ang activity 2. So, sa week 3, Science 10, talagang 2 activities lang. Although yung titling niya is 1 and 3. Basta ito yun. Activity 3, Bingo Card. Are you playing bingo? Yes, everybody knows how to play bingo. You just have to, what? Complete the card by filling out missing words. So, kung sa bingo mo, dyan sa tabi-tabi, gamit ang bato, ito naman, gamit ang words from this box. So, you just have to choose for the first column, blank first column. Ano bang sinasabi ko dito? For the first blank column entitled geologic process, you will write the cause. Cause daw, yung mga sanhi. And then, what are the effects of that geologic process? Isusulat mo naman yan dito sa last column. Of course, your answer will always be connected with the different types of boundaries. First row, convergent, the plate movement. You can see the 2 arrows moving toward each other. What are the types? Convergence between continental and oceanic, oceanic, and continental and continental. So you just have to write the cause. And then what are the effects? So you will write the effects, specifically the formations being created because of that process. The same is true with the divergent boundaries and transform boundaries. Pinakamadali yung transform kasi walang land formation. You just have your geologic events. Okay, I hope you will answer this bingo card correctly. So we are done with your 2 activities for week 3. For more questions, you can comment down below and I will be willing to answer to the best I can. Okay. Meron pa pala. Akala ko wala na. Meron pa palang guide questions. What is your task here? How plate boundaries influence the surface of planet Earth. Take note, influence the surface of the Earth. So in this A, B, and C, you will explain or you will take note of the different land formations and events that could happen because of these types of boundaries. What are formed? What will happen? Ganon. When there is movement between convergent boundaries, between divergent boundaries, and between transform boundary. So, your points to remember in the first part of your activity sheet is very important. Huwag kayong tatamaring basahin yun kasi lahat ng question masasagot nyo kapag naintindihan nyo yan. Yung points to remember plus the way I explain in this video. So, I hope you will accomplish week 3 happily. Okay? So, happy learning from yours truly, Teacher Mylene. Until next time, thank you very much.